What's up, guys? Welcome back to Daily Quest. I actually got a camera now so you can see my beautiful face, and it's fall! Shit. Well, that didn't work, so that's how excited I am about fall. Well, it's about time we hopped back on that nostalgia train, and the first stop is FusionFall, because it has fall in the title. Now, I'm a fan of Cartoon Network. I watched a lot of their shows as a kid, and I still enjoy them to this day. In fact, I still own the Powerpuff Girls movie. So the idea of having an MMO set in the Cartoon Network universe was something I was really looking forward to at the time. The first FusionFall content was actually a comic book that was passed around Comic-Con in 2007. It explained the events that took place before the start of the actual game. And the ad campaign for this MMO was gigantic. There was like 6 different trailers. I remember it being on TV. They really wanted every kid watching Cartoon Network to play this game. However, the first open beta did not come out until the fall of 2008, and the beta test only lasted 2 days. This game was officially released on January 14th, 2009 as a subscription-based MMO. It costed $6 a month, but it had a family deal for $10 a month, which allowed 4 accounts to be subscribed at the same time. And all of that only lasted around a year and a half, because on April 19th of 2010, they converted to a free-to-play model. FusionFall was developed by this South Korean team called Grigon Entertainment. They also made Seal Online, which was a shell-shaded RPG that came out back in 2003. It was based on Seal Travelers of Destiny, but Seal Online had a lighter and toned-down aesthetic, so Grigon Entertainment isn't afraid to take some artistic liberties, which makes sense because the FusionFall comic and the FusionFall game have a very interesting art style where they take these extremely well-known characters and make them look, different. This is most noticeable with especially short cartoon characters. Like, what the fuck did they do to Dexter? I'm sorry guys, but he just looks terrible. Now I get that the game uses the comics art style and they tried to make every character look like it belonged in the same world, but I personally had a very difficult time getting over the fact that they stretched and morphed these iconic cartoon characters to the point where they just barely resembled the subject material. But eventually I was able to get past it. So to start the game, you had to download this little Unity plugin, and after that you could play it straight from your browser. The only problem was that low-end PCs did not run this game well, and the game would still have consistent stutters and chops even on low settings, at least in my case. The first thing that I noticed was that FusionFall did not let you pick your own name, but instead gave you a list of name combinations to choose from. I don't really hold it against them though, because it's a game for kids, so it's best not to have people make inappropriate names like Commander Cuck 69420. It's also worth noting that while the character creation was simple, it did give you a lot of diverse customization options. FusionFall's story in a nutshell started a long time ago in a cliche Star Wars reference, where this green blob called Planet Fusion fused with other planets to get more power and gravity. And it was commanded by Lord Fuse. What a wonderful and creative name. In fact, here is some rare footage of Planet Fusion in action. But uh-oh, kids, the Fuse Man with the Fuse Planet wants to fuse with planet Earth, so it's time for you to save the world. And how do we plan on saving the world from this gigantic planet that will disintegrate humanity as it consumes Mother Earth for sustenance? Well, by traveling into the future and fighting Lord Fuse yourself, with the help of Mojo Jojo, Ben 10, the Kids Next Door, Samurai Jack, Grimm, and various other cartoon characters. But first, they have a bunch of chores for you to do. See, first you gotta kill 4 monsters, and then you gotta go talk to a dude that tells you to collect some materials, and then you talk to another dude that tells you to build something. And this is the tried and true gameplay loop, the bread and butter of the MMORPG genre. You see, the vast majority of quests in this game follow that simple formula from start to finish. In fact, right up to the very end, you will be hunting and gathering like a nomad of the cartoon universe. The lore in this game is pretty crazy too, because this fusion matter was such a big threat that even Dexter and Mandark worked together to create Nanos, which are these little chibi version of cartoon characters that give you power-ups. And oddly enough, they actually look closer to the original characters than the in-game NPCs do. Now, if you had a free-to-play account, you were only allowed to have 4 Nanos, whereas subscribers had access to all 36. In fact, free-to-play members weren't even allowed to post on the official FusionFall forums. But that didn't really matter, because the simple fact is that this game setting is fantastic. Being able to go to locations in the actual show you like is a fan's wet dream. Like, fuck the quest, I'ma chill in Foster's house with the homies. The only problem is that if you were a free-to-play member, you only had access to the future areas of the game, although there was still a lot of exploring to be done. Unfortunately, between Grigon leaving the development teams and a steady decline in player base over the years, Cartoon Network made the decision to shut down FusionFall on August 29th of 2013. And they gave a public statement saying that the players won and in fact saved the world, and in the final week that the servers were up, every player was granted unlimited in-game cash and boosted to max level. Although the only thing I could find on a refund policy for this game was a mail-in rebate type form that you had to fill out. The closing of FusionFall was closely followed by a spin-off game called FusionFall Heroes, where you could play famous cartoon characters, but the community was very vocal about wanting the original FusionFall back. Plus, at some point, the link to FusionFall Heroes just broke, and since then it has been removed from Cartoon Network's website. Unfortunately, there is no public statement that I could find on FusionFall Heroes shutdown. As of right now, there are multiple FusionFall private servers back in the works, such as FusionFall Legacy and FusionFall Retro, so if you sign up and are able to get a key, then you'll be able to play the game again soon. So if you were sitting on the floor in front of your TV watching your favorite cartoon shows and saw an ad for a game where you could virtually jump into their universe and grinded your way to the top alongside famous characters that you grew up with and loved to save the world from the color green, then FusionFall is a game you might remember. Now feel free to share your experiences with FusionFall in the comments below. If you enjoy me talking about games you might remember or various other topics in gaming, then please subscribe to this channel. It would mean the world to me. Cannot wait for 1,000 subscribers. I love each and every one of you. If you want to have a personal conversation with me, then please join the Daily Quest Discord. There will be a link in the description. Stay tuned for gratuitous fall puns, because I know that's what you look for in this channel. Peace.